Good morning, Temple fam. I was asked to do this video yesterday about how stuck emotions can actually cause pain within the body, because this is something so many people experience, right? They've got pain within the body, and the mainstream society tells us to treat that, to manage the pain. And we actually don't look at the underlying root causes that is causing the pain in the first place. So, one of these things that can cause the pain is the emotions that are unfelt within the body. So, how I frame this is that emotions are energy. If we think of emotion as energy in motion, and we can actually begin to see that if there is a buildup of energy within a system, so think of this, if you're mechanical minded, you could think of a overpressurized gas cylinder, or if you've ever had a plastic bottle and you've filled it with air and then you've tried to force more air into it, what happens is the body or the plastic bottle expands and goes into a distorted shape. Now, the same is said with our own bodies. If we're having energy put into the system, which is the emotion, and it's getting stuck and it's continued to get stuck, just forcing more and more energy within the system with no release valve to allow that energy to be released. So, what happens is the body goes under a few different processes to begin to help move that energy. Firstly, a sign is inflammation. This is a body's to say, hey, something is happening here. This is a sign that there's a deeper problem that is occurring, and so many people just take painkillers, anti-inflammatories, all these things that are designed to reduce the inflammation but not fix the underlying problem. And that's the problem, right? If you're reducing the inflammation, but you're still pressurizing the system, well, it's still not going to fix it because it's not releasing any of the pressure. It's just reducing the symptoms. And this is what our culture tends to do. They reduce the symptoms, but they don't actually look what's happening beneath the surface, which is what I want to focus on here. So when these emotions continue to build up, there's no other way for them to go. There's nothing they can do. So they begin to signal the body that something isn't right. Now, they do this through pain. This seems counterintuitive, but if you tune into it, you actually begin to recognize pain is just telling you something isn't right, that something is occurring that isn't meant to be here. Now, our culture has told us that pain is bad, that we should avoid pain at all costs, and we don't want to cause ourselves pain. But if we actually begin to get curious of why is there pain here? Because our bodies are innately whole. When we're whole, there's no pain because it's only when we're separated from what we truly are, which is a whole individual, that we cause ourselves pain. Now, this is where the suppressed emotions come from because this goes into conditioning, and there's other videos around this where we got told we can only have certain experiences, certain emotions from culture, from family, from whatever our conditioning says. So these emotions are showing us where we're stuck, where we're reducing ourselves to be someone else. And this is where it can get confronting because what happens is when if we're willing to bring awareness to that pain and go into that pain, what it will bring up is suppressed emotions which we've got told aren't welcome, that they're not safe to feel, that if you're a man, it's unsafe to feel anger or sadness, etc. There's a lot of conditions. If you're a woman, the conditions might be you're too much if you feel these emotions. So when you begin to go into the pain, these emotions may begin to bubble up and surface. Now, this is great because this is the release valve that's allowing this emotion to move. But there's another blockade here, which is the belief system that says you can't feel this, or that this pain is bad, or it's going to be too much, or it's an overwhelm. So it can be quite a confronting experience to actually lean into the pain and begin to feel it. This is where we can have emotional release, and people can cry, they can scream, there can be anger, there can be grief, there can be joy. All of these emotions are ones that people will suppress over time. And so when we begin to lean into the pain, we begin to see there's something else happening here, and we allow something more to come through. So if you're feeling pain within the body, it's actually a symptom of a greater cause. Now, The first place is to get curious about the pain, to actually begin to notice why are you feeling pain, and begin to ask yourself these questions of what might be causing this pain, what emotion might I be suppressing, what could be the cause of this. Now that may seem a little bit weird to start with, especially if you've never done this before or never got curious. But most people go into the physical when they ask, why is this hurting? Maybe I did this at work, maybe this just happened, maybe I'm getting old. These are the excuses that we tell ourselves to justify the pain. But actually, if we begin to sit with the pain and get curious about the felt sense, and go into this, and this can take some practice and some guidance. If you've suppressed your emotions your whole life, and don't expect to open a box straight away and all the emotions to come flooding out. This is going to take some time. This is going to be a continued practice of curiosity to be with this and allow it space and allow yourself to know that it's safe to begin to feel this. You've been conditioned for however many years of your life there has been, so you can't expect to undo that in a single moment. This is a continued process that does take time and a continued unpacking to show yourself, hey, you can actually feel these emotions. You can feel this pain, and on the other side of that, emotion. And for a lot of people, one of the biggest signs and things that they aren't able to express in this world is anger. And especially if you're dealing with inflammatory pain, anger is a big cause of that, because literally anger attack. Your body is attacking itself because it has nowhere for that anger to go and it's been shut down. So it's beginning to fight itself and cause an internal conflict. So the questions you may wish to ask yourself is, where have you suppressed your anger? What boundaries have you not expressed? Who are you resentful towards, and what have you not expressed to them that has caused you to feel resentful? This is a big one. This can go into a lot of the pleaser attitudes and the covert contracts where we have expectations of people that aren't met, so that then when they get when they don't meet them, we get angry, but we haven't told them what we want. So a great book, if you're a man, on that is No More Mr. Nice Guy. It goes really deeply into covert contracts and what that is all about, and a lot of the please and attitude. It's great for women, but it is also focused on men. And beginning to ask these questions of, oh, where have I had a desire that I haven't been able to express? Because these all are all the parts that we have said aren't welcome to this external world, and as a result suppress them, suppress the emotions that were helping drive these behaviors that wanted to reveal themselves. And so this pain is actually an invitation into a greater sense of wholeness rather than suppression. So enjoy this, sit with the pain, get to know it, be curious about it, and see what happens if you were to give it some time and space to be there. Instead of trying to fix or manage, actually sit with it, be with it, and allow it to emerge in a different and new way.